Now that we've ran POSPAC, we're going to move on to creating trajectories. So on the same toolbar on the right, from left to right, we're going to choose this one, which is create true view trajectories. It's going to create a flat line layer using these flat lines. Latest available calibration, not much to change. Retain photos within flat lines, retain photos within lines and interior turns, or retain all. So we're only going to keep, if you had some ancillary photos that were out here beyond your flat lines, this is what would help cut them down. So we're going to retain photos on our flat lines only. We're going to leave this epic like this. And our process settings, we're going to update the EXIF tags to the geocoded information. So once you have, so you really don't touch much here. We're going to hit create trajectories. And depending on the size of your flat, this might take a minute or two. And you're pretty much doing it almost instantaneous for this little project I have. Once it's done, it'll say it's successful. And you really won't see much over here. Nothing has changed yet. We're still just creating data. Let's see if I can make this a little bigger. So here's our retained photos. Start turning some stuff off here. So remember that we had our trajectory lines. So we've got all the photos, in my case the north photos, they are the same. But if you had gotten rid of two things or some of the data, that's how it would show. And that's pretty quick for trajectories, so we're just going to move right on over to the geocoding. So I'm going to turn my flat lines back on and my photos. I'm going to turn off the Google Hybrid at this point. We're going to move to the next step, which is geocoding the Lidar. Actually start creating Lidar data. We're going to click that button, flat line layer, which it already made. In here you can play with your clip angle if you want to. Your clip range by default should be unchecked, and for your first run through leave it unchecked. And enable true track. And if I was you for this point in the game, do not check colorized point cloud. So we're going to geocode the Lidar and just hit continue. And again, depending on the size of your project, affects this time. It is doing this locally on the machine. You can watch the progress down here in this bottom area. And this is taxing the CPU to its max on the machine, so don't really want to do too much else while you're cooking it. Once that's done, you'll have your Lidar point cloud will come in down here. So here's my point cloud name. And I can turn that on and off. And in our next video, we're going to take this and look at it and analyze it briefly with the default settings and rerun it a few times to try to get rid of some noise. And we'll do that.